Hi everyone, thank you for enrolling into this module. The title of this module is Basic Concepts of Nanomaterial. My name is Munzi bin Abdullah from the Institute of Nano Optoelectronics Research and Technology, INO, University Science, Malaysia. So let's get straight to our first topic or our first video with the title of the World of Nano. Nowadays, the term nano has become a buzzword in the contemporary books, movies, television commercials, and especially in the consumer products in the market. A lot of products use the term nano for marketing and as a method of advertisement, ranging from electronic gadgetries, cosmetic products, cleaning products, health products, sports equipment, and up to various paint and coating technologies. Some even put the word nano as their company or product name as part of their marketing strategy. It is, however, the concept of nanotechnology or nanomaterials might not be regulated and diverse. Therefore, the definition of the term might vary from industry to another industry and from a product to another product. So currently there are diverse definitions about what exactly is nanotechnology. For example, some people consider the growth and the characterization of thin films as nanotechnology. Some consider the study of microstructure of material using electron microscopy is nanotechnology. Others consider the bottom-up approach in the material synthesis and fabrication as nanotechnology. Others consider the application side or application part of nanotechnology, such as micro-electromechanical system, in short MEMS, and lab-on-chip. Drug delivery is another application. For example, putting drug into nanomaterials such as carbon nanotube or gold nanoparticle, so that the drug can be delivered into specific parts in our body. What else? Nanosensors, right? Nanosensors, some people working in the nanosensors. And more futuristic and science fiction-like opinions are that nanotechnology means something very ambitious, such as this miniaturized submarine in the bloodstream, smart self-replication nanorobots monitoring our body, and the idea or the concept of space exploration, such as space elevator using carbon nanotubes. And there are many other definitions that people working in nanotechnology especially use to define the field. The many diverse definitions of nanotechnology reflect the fact that nanotechnology covers a broad spectrum of research field and require a true interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary efforts, crossing boundaries between physics, chemistry, mathematics, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, biology, and biotechnology. So in general, nanotechnology can be understood as a technology of the design, fabrication, and application of nanomaterial. Nanotechnology enables us the following. The first is to control the matter on the atomic level, referring to nanomaterials. And the second is to build using atoms as the building blocks to become a nanomaterial or nanostructure. And the third is to manufacture novel nanomaterials with novel properties. Now you might ask, what is nanomaterials, right? Defining nanomaterials is never straightforward. So the main reason for this is the size-dependent properties of material evolve from bulk to nanoscale in a continuous way. So therefore, there is no particular boundary of scale that we can use to define the boundary of nanomaterial. So most of the time, these properties also depends on its shape, composition, aspect ratio, and whatnot, right? Many properties. And in fact, the definition of nanomaterial is still an active area of scientific and policy debate, although few accepted requirements are small in size, high surface area, and enhanced reactivity over bulk materials. So according to European Commission and also US National Science and Technology Council, the definition of nanomaterial is the object with a typical size of 1 to 100 nanometer. but this is not necessarily agreed by everyone working in nanotechnology field. Some set the requirement that materials need to be at least 50% with the size between 1 to 100 nanometer for it to be considered nanomaterials. Others, they put the higher limit up to 250 nanometer, and some suggesting a weight-based threshold for the size distribution for the definition of nanomaterial. So therefore, as part of the activities in this module, at the end of the video, please write in the comment section, what is nanomaterials in your own word? By now, you should be aware that the word nano is actually a prefix that is equal to the order of 10 to the power of negative 9 meter. So 1 nanometer is equal to 0.000000001 meter, or equal to 10 Armstrong. 1 nanometer is the length if you line up 10 of the smallest atom that we have in the periodic table, which is hydrogen, or if you line up just 3 of the largest atom in terms of the atomic radius in the periodic table, which is this the atom of cesium. So at this stage, do not be confused with the term nanoparticles, nanostructure, and whatnot, because they are just the subset of nanomaterials. We will talk about the term and names of the different types of nanomaterial in another module. Now the question is, what is so special about nanoscale? Okay, so since the particles are small, therefore few atoms are present, and that translates to a high surface to volume ratio. The high surface area causes the particle to act and react differently with compared to its bulk form. Another reason why nanoscale is unique is because it is on the scale of small biological structures such as protein and DNA and whatnot. This enables many medical researchers to design tools, treatment and therapies that are more precise and personalized than the conventional ones. It is also where the quantum mechanics meet classical mechanics, or the peculiar realms of quantum world meet the physical law of our world. So the image on the right shows the simulation of confined electron motion in a nanowire. So in this case, the quantum property is more dominant than the classical law that we have in our world. Another example is the phenomenon of quantum tunneling effect, which made possible the scanning tunneling microscope and flash memory for computing. And all these are the reasons we have many new interesting properties or phenomena that are not present in the bulk form, such as opaque substance become transparent. Okay, inert material can become catalyst in the nano form. Stable material can turn combustible. Solid can turn into liquid at room temperature, and insulator can become conductor. The picture in the bottom shows various metal nanoparticles in colloidal forms. If we compare the color in terms of the optical properties of the colloids compared to its original bulk material, it is totally different. For example, gold in this case is red in color as compared to the color of gold that we are used to. And silver will become yellow, aluminum will become white, copper will become slightly dark greenish, and brass alloy nanoparticle will become more like chocolate in color. These are the new optical properties of several metals when they are in nano forms due to its small in size. To be able to imagine the scale of nano, or the word of nano, we need to get back to our prefixes with the help of this diagram. So a meter is roughly 3.3 feet, which is our feet, and it is equal to 1 billion of nanometer. As to the larger scale, we have kilometer, we have megameter, we have gigameter, and so on and so forth. But we want to go to smaller scale, which begins with the macro world, which is now more than 1 million of nanometer. So if you can imagine, in this macro world, it is roughly the size of a letter in your TV remote, the size of an ant, the aperture in your smartphone camera, a spider silk, and this is a bristle on the tip of a finger lady or okra, and it is also within the size of various electronic components such as diode, capacitor, and etc. So most of the objects here in this world, in this scale, are still visible with naked eye. But if we go smaller, we will enter the micro world. For micro world, the size is around 1,000 to 100,000 of nanometer, which the world that bacteria and viruses lives in. So this is something which is well recognized these days, which is a coronavirus. We have also the lab on chip, which has been used a lot in DNA testing, for example. This is a single crystal of ice. What else? This is our red blood cells, and this is micro electromechanical system or devices, or in short MEMS. So these objects are all within the micro scale, and this structure or these objects still can be resolved by using light, so therefore can be viewed under the optical microscope. Then when we start to get smaller, around 1 to 100 nanometer, we actually have entered the word nano or nano world, where light can no longer resolve any object in this world. Few examples here. First, we have a protein structure which cannot be seen under optical microscope. If you want to view the object in this nano world, we require an electron microscope, which some of which can magnify the image of the object up to 1 million times. The image on the left shows the carbon atoms which form synthetic diamond, and of course as viewed from an electron microscope. So on its right, if you can see from here, we have a particle of silver, nanoparticle of silver. This picture is quite interesting actually. We are going to talk more about this picture in the next section. This is the image of a transparent region of a butterfly wings, which exhibit anti-reflection behavior caused by these small nano pillars covering the region. The picture on its right shows the superparamagnetic iron oxide nanoparticles, which carries big potential, especially in the bioimaging application. And finally, the picture on the bottom left shows a molecular person, or we call it stickman, right? Consisting of 14 carbon monoxide molecules arranged on a metal surface and imaged by a scanning tunneling microscope. So now, if you haven't noticed, these objects can easily be classified into two categories. In the left side, we have things man-made, and on the right, we have things natural, which we will discuss these two categories in details in the next section. To be able to imagine the nano world or the smallness of nano scale, let's take this analogy. If a nanoparticle is the size of a football, okay, so a virus will be the size of a person, and a red blood cell will be the size of a football field. A small donut will be roughly the size of Malaysia, the land area of Malaysia, and a turkey will be the size of the earth. So that is the comparison in the size of a nanoparticle compared to our everyday objects, so that we can appreciate the scale of nano world. So that's all for this topic. In the next section, we will discuss about the natural and man-made nanomaterials. Thank you.